Again, for anyone wondering, I have a media code so I can make Quake Champions videos. One of my favorite things about Quake is that every weapon has a specific use. As I've said before, they fit into 3 main aim styles: tracking, leading, and single point. I just want to go through each weapon quickly so you have a better idea of what to use. First is the heavy machine gun, obviously rapid fire and instant hit, so that's a tracking weapon, but it's not totally accurate, it has some spread. Zoomed in, it does 12 damage per hit, while normally it only does 9 damage. And with quad damage zoomed in, it does 48 damage, so long range rapid fire, great gun to use with quad.
Excellent.
Lightning gun is another tracking weapon, but it's totally accurate and has no spread. And while it only does 7 damage per hit, it fires faster. The disadvantage is that it has a range. So the heavy machine gun is long range tracking, lightning gun is close to mid range tracking. You can see that at a certain distance I just can't hit them. You should figure out where that point is with practice. At this stage, lightning gun seems to be the most dominant, but it's beta, so you can expect balance changes eventually. Next weapon is the super shotgun. Instant hit, slow reload, big spread. The aim method is single point, like a sniper rifle. See, up close it has almost no spread, so it's a close range weapon for big damage, and a good finishing weapon if you don't feel confident enough to hit a rail at medium range. You can also use it as a runaround weapon. It can rattle your opponents as they see big chunks of health taken off. The super nail gun is probably the hardest weapon to use because it's a rapid fire projectile. It's actually a plasma gun with a different skin. At 12 damage per hit, it's meant to be the most powerful gun in the game, but it's more a close range weapon due to the difficulty. I'd call this aim style a combination of tracking and leading. Another weapon that uses leading as an aim style is the rocket launcher, which can also be used for rocket jumping, but I'll do a separate video explaining that. So it's a projectile weapon and has splash damage, meaning even if you miss, the explosion will still cause damage. That's why you'll see us aim at people's feet. We explode rockets on the ground to make sure we damage them even if we miss. And the ultimate shot to hit is people in the air. Hard to do, but very satisfying. Shooting at their feet can also cause the enemy to bounce. Once you have an enemy bouncing, it's easy to predict where to fire next. The railgun is basically a sniper rifle. Zoomed in, it does 100 damage. But normally it does 80 damage, so it's a single point weapon that can be used at any range, but because it has a slow reload time, we usually recommend to use it at mid to long range. That way you have a chance to escape or dodge. Unlike an actual sniper weapon though, you can use it as a run and gun weapon, just like the others. The final weapon is the gauntlet, the melee weapon, just like a knife in CSGO. Because Quake is so fast, a gauntlet kill is seen as a humiliation. So let's review. The 3 main aim styles are tracking, leading, and single point. That's rapid fire, projectile, and you could say sniper. In the tracking category, we have heavy machine gun for long range, lightning gun for short to mid range. For leading, or you could say prediction, we have the rocket launcher because that's the projectile weapon. We're still waiting to see if we get a grenade launcher, which is a bounce projectile. In single point, we have super shotgun for close to mid range, and railgun for mid to long range. And then there's super nail gun, which is a combination of tracking and leading. I'm also hoping to see a bounce shotgun, which would make it a leading single point weapon. We'll see what we get. If that's too much information, let me simplify it for you. The 3 best weapons from each category are the rocket launcher, lightning gun, and railgun. To practice, use the rocket launcher up close and aim at people's feet. If they move a bit far away, switch to lightning gun for mid-range, and if they're too far, then use railgun. So rocket launcher for short range, lightning gun for mid-range, railgun for long range. Spend an entire map just focusing on each one if you can. Rocket short, lightning mid, rail long. You should notice after a while, you'll start to use weapon combinations. One of the most popular is lightning to railgun. See, a lot of people have about 100 health and 25 armor. Using the lightning gun, you can lower them to under 100 or even to 80 health, and then finish them off with a railgun shot. This is especially effective in free-for-all matches, where everyone is just trying to survive.
Impressive.
But you can also use any tracking weapon and then switch to a single point.
Quad spawn, 15 seconds.
You can even do the same with rockets and then finish them off with lightning. Or lightning gun to machine gun if they go out of range. Bouncing them with rocket and then switching to rail is a fun one too. So practice using rocket up close, aiming at their feet. Lightning gun for mid-range, and rail for long range. I'll work on some aiming guides in the future, so stay tuned for a lot more Quake Champions content, including more tutorials. Subscribe if you haven't already, like and share this video, and I'll catch you in the next.
Combo kill.
Scum all day long. You're never going to live.
Killing
Looking
spree.
for a fight.
Tied.
Got one now.
Impressive.
Why I'm winning.
Lead
Because
taken.
I planned it that way.
Headshot.
Fighting trash like you.
Impressive.
Scum all day long.